All right. What up, Chelsea?
Hi,
So
Danielle. How are
excited. Thank
you?
you so much for being on with me. So,
You're
man, I'm so
welcome.
excited. Yes, I'm here with Chelsea, and man, so she has been able to make almost $50,000, which is insane. So
Great.
she teaches, yeah, so she's gonna get into her story, but she teaches people about drop shipping. So she's been able to do that successfully. Her course is From Pennies to Gold with Drop Shipping. But she has such an amazing personal story that we're going to get into, and also some like great collaboration that she's done inside a course from scratch, and as a result of it, that's helped her grow even more. So really excited. She's coming from Los Angeles today, so she's from LA right
Yes.
now, and cool. So let's get started. What up, Chelsea?
Hi, how are you, Danielle?
Good.
I'm
So tell
super
me.
excited.
Yes, I know. I'm excited to talk to you. So tell me, what's since you launched? I mean, how is life different? How are you? Like, what's the feeling?
Oh my gosh, it just feels so good to be considered like an authority as a woman. Like now women from all over come to me to learn drop shipping, and it's such a inspirational situation. Like it's one thing for me to do well with drop shipping for me and my family, but now to be able to share what I know to thousands of other people is just like it's amazing. I have people giving me testimonials, telling me how much I've helped their situation, how much they're forever thankful to me. And I mean, they sound just like I sounded, I feel like when I used to write you, thanking you for your course. So I'm forever thankful for that opportunity. And I just am so happy that I'm able to help other people.
Amazing. And I know that people come to you specifically because you tell your story, right? Like you really have
Yeah,
all
definitely.
your culture ad and what makes you different. And
For
I
sure.
love that. And I think like you are so magnetic. If you guys check out her posts on Instagram in particular, she's really magnetic, very good at like telling your story. And I love something you shared off camera right before we came on. And you said it's interesting because parts of my story that used to, turn people away from, for me, from us, we used to be denied opportunities, is actually the thing that's attracting opportunities and making you a magnet now. So can you tell
Right.
me, what did you mean by that? Where were you in life before Course from Scratch?
Oh my gosh. Before Course from Scratch, um, I was going through a really rough pregnancy, which, as a result, my doctors had suggested that I put my stores on hold with my drop shipping business. And, at the time I was like, what? This is damn near on the verge of passive income. Like, why would I put it on hold? But they were like, look, at this point, you're at such a high risk. We really don't want anything to stimulate you too much. So, putting my businesses on hold for 9 months, not only did that really affect me financially, but mentally and just all across the board, I was just searching for purpose. I was just confused. I just didn't feel excited about much of anything anymore besides having my baby, which that in itself had me scared because I didn't know how that was going to turn out. And so, when I finally had my baby and I was in the clear to get back to work, of course, I wanted to start back my stores. That's all I really knew to generate money at that point. But, it was starting from scratch all over again. Drop shipping is one of those businesses that unless you feed on a daily basis with ads and investing in advertisements, it will go from 100 to zero real quick. So here I was ready to start up, my businesses again from scratch. And I was like, I was doing all these one-on-ones. That's what kept me afloat during my pregnancy. Even though I didn't run my business, I just helped others over the phone. And I was like, how can I, what can I do? I want to come out with a course. So coming out with a course has completely, changed everything for me. Like you said, I was in a position where my boyfriend was getting turned down at one point for job after job. He had come home from prison and we were just judged by everyone and it was super difficult for him to find work. And so drop shipping changed the game for us in that regard. But then we were at that point where it was like, what do we do now? We have the baby. Do we pour all this money into advertising again? And, that's such an up and down thing. Or do we find a way to monetize what we've learned over the years and teach other people how to do the same thing for their families? And so now, like you said, I'm able to pour out my inner truths over Instagram, and I'm finally in a position where people are respecting me for my honesty and for my struggles and for my true self. And whereas before, people would ask like, oh, what do you do, or who are you? And whenever the truth came out, it was like, oh, felony, oh, prison, oh, him. Like, it was just such a daunting thing. And now people see where we're at, and they're like, wow, come speak. You've been in prison and this is where you're at now. Come on. Like, how did you do that? Like, who did you learn from? Where did you, they're picking our brains, and it's like, it's just amazing. It's amazing because this is what we've always wanted, like we've never wanted to be judged because of our mistakes back when we were kids, and life happens. We all make mistakes. And so now to be given this second chance and be respected, if not more than we would have, is just amazing, And so I love that there's so many women, we've all been ride or dies for the wrong types of men in our lives, and we've all been set back years probably because of the wrong relationships. And so now to resonate with so many women out there who find themselves holding down that guy in prison, or the one that's just doing all these things in the name of love, it's like so many women are lost, and so many women just, they're stuck raising families by themselves because of similar situations, and they look to me as like, wow, she did it, she held down her man, and now together they're able to conquer, and that's invigorating for a lot of people. And I'm just so proud that that's me, like,
Wow.
I'm so grateful for that.
Oh my gosh. Awesome. Thank you for
Aww.
sharing. That's really
You're
powerful.
welcome.
Like,
thank you.
Yes. Oh
Thank
my gosh.
you. Thank you.
And so I'm just like so inspired by your ability to come in and make it happen. So launching with all of that, launching within, I think, less than 30 days of joining course.
Yeah. I think I had 38 people enrolled at 24 days. And I was like,
what?
I think my goal was only, what did we say? I wanted $20,000. I was like, I need $20,000. But in my head, I was like, I know I'll get 10,000, but I really want 20. So on my vision, on my manifestation, I have a whole journal. I was like 20. But in the back of my mind, I was like 10. I'll be happy with 10. When I got 38, I was like, is this legal? I have to tap in with Danielle, because I started feeling like I was doing something wrong. I didn't even spend the money. I still haven't spent the money because I just feel like, is something gonna like it's safe? No, it's just too good to be true. I have not touched like any of it. Like, I'm scared because it's just it's crazy.
Girl,
it's crazy.
Amazing. That's you. That is you. So what do you think made the difference? How did you go in, and how were you able to make that happen? What do you think? And first, let's walk through like some of the numbers. So how many, when you were going through the process before you launched, it's good to know where you started, right? And that way people are aware, did you have an existing kind of website, email list, following on Instagram? So what were you working with when you started?
So I did do Pop Social. Before I started Pop Social, I had 27,000 followers. Now I'm at 30,000. So I wouldn't say, I would definitely say the 27,000 did help. It did help. People automatically kind of trust someone who has a little bit of a following. So I will say that as far as my email list, I didn't have an email list. I kind of just looked at it like, okay, I'm on a time crunch. I did try to build my email list according to what you said, and I did gain several new emails, quite a bit. It wasn't the 250 though. I just kind of balanced it out with, okay, I have an audience already. So even if I don't hit the 250, I can kind of leverage both and make it work. What I did do that I'm not sure other people did, because of drop shipping and my knowledge with that, I was already super familiar with Facebook ads. So I would say I attribute maybe a third of my business that I got to Facebook ads, because I didn't go hard with it. I was being very, maybe $5 here, $10 here, ads. So the majority definitely came from Instagram. But I would say the tasty posts help more than anything. Like those tasty posts and my stories, I'm a ranter. I mean, I feel like, I don't know if the average person can get away with it if they just jump off the porch trying to rant, but I'm a ranter in real life. And so for me, it just,
it works.
no, they didn't know the difference because I do it on a daily basis. So, and I'm big at pulling people's cards. Like, don't tell me you want to make a change in your life, but you don't want to make a change in your life. Like, I will call you out. I will screenshot you. I will be on some, like, look at this person right here who said that they want to make $1 million but won't invest $997. Like, so I'm very forward. I'm very blunt, and and people really respect that. I'm sure a lot of people are like turned off by that, but a lot of the ones that know I'm talking to them and can see so much of themselves in me, they signed up because they were like, you know what, if she could do it, I could do it. So I would just say staying consistent, which is what I've preached. It's like, it's true. The whole mindset thing is 100. Like it sounds like so gimmicky or whatever, but once as an entrepreneur, like once you understand mindset, you understand consistency, you understand, staying on track and not losing momentum. And so those principles helped me with my dropshipping business before my course, like as a dropshipper. So I just applied those same principles, and you taught them even, but I applied those same principles to my course, and I did tasty posts consistently every day. I try to go live every day before my launch. So once I introduced my early enrollment, I made it a point to try to go live at least 5-10 minutes a day, every single day up until my deadline. And every day it didn't fail. Like every day that I went live, I got tons of DMs and at least one sign up. So, I mean, it was just, like you said, a numbers game, and it worked. Like it really worked.
Yeah. And then when you would go live every day, what were you talking about?
I would go live and I would just be, hey guys, so I have a course launching, same thing every day. I have a course launching in X amount of days. This is what my course is about. It's teaching you X, Y, and Z, and I really want to help a lot of people. You guys don't sleep, right now it's 50% off. DM me, book the link and click the link in my bio, schedule an appointment with me. I'm happy to teach you guys. It's changed my life. You guys know Brandon was a felon, he couldn't get work. I just give them the whole story every day over and over. And the fact that it plays, I didn't care if there were 5 people on my live, the fact that it stays live, and over the course of those 24 hours, that 5 might turn into 35 people. That's 45 people. You know what I mean? Another one, influencers help me so much. And granted, people have said, Laurel has said to me at times, like, I don't have celebrity friends. I was a celebrity makeup artist, so my network is celebrities, and I do appreciate that, whatever. But aside from that, I told her, same thing. Like, I understand that my influencers have hundreds of thousands, some have millions of followers. I get that. But even if you have a friend with less followers than you, even if they only have 300 followers or 500 followers, that's 300 or 500 more eyeballs that you're exposing your business or your name to, or your whatever to. So they don't have to be influencers. It's just the fact that you're using the influencer approach and model to give it to these people with 100 followers. That's still 100 more people than you had. So it's not, you can't get so caught up in like the number game of, influencer this or that. It's still more eyes. The more eyes you can get on your information, the better. And so I utilized everyone. And it got to the point, like this time around, I just started hitting up at anyone who, Summer, anybody who needed it. I was like, hey, you want to make an extra $400? I'll give you 20%. If you can bring somebody that needs a new way of making money, if you can introduce them to my course and they sign up, I will give you $400 the same day. It's like, I didn't care at this point. Like, I just want everybody and their mama to know about my course. And so that's just what it is. You got to incentivize people to, spread the word sometimes, but it's for a good cause. And that's just how I looked at it. It may not benefit you. You might not need it right now, but somebody is looking for another stream of income, and I want to offer my stream of income to them. So
yes, I love it. So it sounds like it was a combination of Facebook ads, of to get new folks, and then influencers partnering. So I love the point about, yes, I happen to have a network who are celebrities or people with a lot of followers because I used to be a makeup artist, celebrity makeup artist. You may not have that network, but you have a network, right? And so even
Yeah.
if your friends have 1,000 followers, 500 followers, doesn't matter. If they're willing to spread the word and send people to watch your story for the day or your live or look at your tasty post, if they repost your tasty post, then that's, hundreds more eyeballs. I love that. Um,
Yeah.
and then the third thing you mentioned was that you were, as far as your existing follower base, you didn't ignore them either. And you would go live just 5 to 10 minutes every day. And I love
Exactly.
that you're like, I didn't reinvent the wheel. I just said the same message every day. My program is open. Remember, here's my story. Here's my why and why this is important to me. Send me a DM. So
Yep.
how much did you spend on Facebook ads, if you remember, around how much?
To be honest, I don't remember because I'm still running them. So at this point, it's been a lot, maybe $1,000
Mm-hmm.
total,
Mm-hmm.
because I just kept them going and all that. But maybe $1,000, maybe a little bit more. But I know that like for every, it was not like I would maybe spend 20 and get like 2 new leads, and that's 2,000 for $20. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
would weigh out so much. The
Yes.
comparison was like not even worth keeping track. I'm like, okay,
Totally.
1,000, but I got 5 signups. So, or,
Totally. Okay.
so
And I love that too. Like that I think a big theme here is just look at the assets you have. So you happen to have knowledge of Facebook ads because you did drop shipping before. So you were able to do
exactly.
that. And so how many sales have come from influencers? So how many people have you, paid out? You mentioned you pay out like 20% commission. So how many folks have come through influencers?
I would say, I booked so many calendar appointments, so many, like maybe 100 calendar appointments alone from different influencers. However, money obstacles. So I would say maybe 5 or 6, nothing too, well, maybe like 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Nice.
would say probably, yeah. Because then you also risk the ones that don't actually mention. I put, in my questionnaire, where'd you hear about me? But sometimes they're not so specific, like, oh, this person shouted you out. But I kind of assume that, they'll be like a friend. But I'm like, dang, maybe it really is a friend, or maybe it was my influencer. So I'll just say
Right.
like maybe 10. I don't really know, but
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And then 10. So yeah, so that's close to a third. Maybe that's like a quarter or something of the
Mm-hmm.
folks you've gotten, which is pretty significant. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
cool. Okay.
Yeah, and,
And
and
then,
my influencer who did that only has 6,000 followers. Like
wow.
the one that brought me in the most, granted, because it's like these micro influencers that have the most loyal people, you know what I mean? And
Yes.
like people really, really respected her business sense. So
Mm.
anything that she talks about, it's like they off top will respect it. So I was shocked by that. I have a client who has over 1 million followers. She shouted me out and I got 1 sign up from her. One,
Wow.
and maybe 2. And here I am with the other girl with 6,000, and my calendar is still booked with a bunch of people. Shantae. It's like whether they're signing up or not, they're still following me and they still want to. It's just a price point that might be an issue. But I've had people do payment plans, and so don't get discouraged. With the number, it's still, people have very loyal fans
I
depending on
like
what type
that.
of following or what they represent on their page.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And so I think you had about, gosh, almost 100 phone calls booked. Maybe by now you've had 100, but I think when you did your initial numbers, it was maybe around 80 or so. But walk us through the numbers, like how many calls did you have booked, and then how many no-shows, and then how many people, I guess, did you close?
Oh my gosh. So my conversion rate last time I checked was about 38%. If I
Nice.
look at my Calendly right now, I have 275 events.
Wow.
So now as far as like upcoming, I have about 30 upcoming. So that shows you I've talked to a lot of people because there's only 30 left.
Yes.
And it's exhausting. I'm not gonna lie, it's exhausting, and it's honestly, it just boils down to how bad do you want it. Like, for example, I could read you real quick. My baby's godmother, I put her on to doing courses. I told her about your course, but she was just like, just tell me about it. And I was like, okay, well, just do a course. That's all I can tell you, because if you're not going to take it, I can't really tell you much. But so basically what she did is she saw what I was doing and basically tried to mimic what I was doing without taking the course, which is fine. But she hit me up out of nowhere yesterday. Where is this? This is so funny. I got to read this to you. She said, okay, I'll just say girl, because she didn't say girl, but she said, girl, how do you do these consultations? She said, I'm about to put on my book that I'm booked for 6 months. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, this is so annoying. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I said, yeah, I'm on the phone all day long. That's just what it is. And she said, F that, I'm booked. And I was like, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you can either take the calls and do the work. And then when she asked me 2 weeks ago, we were at the pool together, and she's like, so how many people have enrolled? And I was like, I think 35 or something. And she was like, she did the math real quick, and she said, hold on. So you mean to tell me you made $35,000? I was like, I mean, if 1 + 1 is 2, then I guess so. Mind you, at that point, it was already like 40 something, but I'm like, yeah, that's fine, Yes. And so for her to know the numbers and then still be on some like, oh, well, I'm just going to I'm going to say I'm booked. It's like, that just shows you, it's like, she wants it. She went and she did her version of a course. She now has a 6-week live course. And I'm like, okay, I see you. But it's like, without putting those little baby steps in, you could have a course. You could have the whole platform, the whole layout. But if you're not going to do every moving part of it, then maybe you don't want it as bad as I wanted it. And you can't expect you to have 45 signups, or what do I have now? 48 signups. You might get 4 or 5, but it's like, putting the legwork in is what's going to get you the numbers that we really want. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
it's tiring. You know what I mean? But I needed it, and I still need it, and I will always need it. So I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to find ways to tweak it and get better and make more, because I'm coming for you. I want your results.
Hey, let's go. You don't get
You're
them.
my inspiration. I'm like, nah, she did it. I know I can do it too. So, I mean, you just can't stop. You can't get lazy. There's some people that will make $1,000 and be like, yes, I did it. Now I can chill. And it's like, what? Like, no, I'm trying to max this out. So it's all about how bad you want it. You can do it. And the same thing with drop shipping. You're going to have your hard moments, and you can give up on it, or you can just keep persisting and finding new ways to get it. And that's just what separates the people who make it and don't. So
yes, I love it. And so what were your main takeaways from the course? What do you think made it possible for you to succeed and get those crazy results in 30 days? What were like the main takeaways?
Oh my gosh, everything, like literally from start to finish. I don't know if there was just one part that was just like, so whatever. I think the fact that you could do it without have like the outline where it was you're launching, the pre-launch part, that to me was like, when I saw your ad for like, I don't know how you worded it, but like I did 20 whatever without even having any content. I was like, oh, hold on. Sign me up. Like that was like, to me, I was like, I need that in my life, because that's it. That was my pivotal, like, changing moment, when I realized that I can gather information from my audience and gear my whole course around the feedback that I'm getting step by step. That to me was just like so brilliant. I was like, why didn't I think about this? Like, it was perfect. It was perfect. So I think to me, that was just everything. Like, not feeling the burden of like, oh my God, how long is it going to take me to come out with a whole course? It's going to take me like 6 years to publish something that's worthy. And it's like, you made it so realistic. Like, you made it so simple, so 1-2 cut dry. I don't know, it was perfect. Like, the way I learn is a little bit different too. I'm very like, I'm analytical. I need things broken down step by step. And so the way your course just laid it out so step by step was just perfect for me. And honestly, that's how I created my course. I guess that's how you have to if you take your course and you're building it that way. But it just works for people like me who are just not like super quick learners and like who it's like we need things a little bit broken down step by step. And so doing it in this way where it's like you do module 1 and then you kind of take a breather and then you kind of create module 2 based on that just helps. It's just better. I don't know. It's so good versus, like you said, writing the whole course out and then delivering it. And then as you get feedback, you're like, oh, I probably should have included this. Or this is just perfect because you customize it for your people, for your launch. You customize it to their needs. And that's just, you're offering a perfect product to them every single time. If you ask for feedback and they tell you there's an issue, you teach it the next time. And so they complete your course feeling like they got 110% out of it.
Yes. Awesome. And then, so you mentioned how we kind of talked about this a little bit offline, but kind of your, where you're going next, because you have been able to book your calendar. You have all these calls you've done and you have even more, upcoming ones. And you're like, okay, this is a lot. So, you may be at this point, to now scale, right? So what do you have in mind next? What would what's the future look like for you?
So I honestly want as much advice on this as possible. I ended up spending so much money on a course last month, because I was feeling very overwhelmed and I was like, this was great, but I want my $1 million. So how can I get there the best and the fastest way? So I ended up hiring a branding coach. His name is Mark Black, and he's amazing at what he does. But I'm so still like not overwhelmed, but I'm, handling my calls. I haven't even gotten to tap into his course, unfortunately. I'm sure once I do, it will help me level up. But in between time, my plan is to continue doing these calendar bookings, leverage my email marketing, because now that I have I didn't have my 250 emails before, but now that I am pulling from my calendar, using the techniques that, what's her name? Ned, your girl,
Neat.
Yeah, that exporter from your email exporter, that helps me. I do that on my Calendly, and every week I have my VA. I do now have a VA who has simplified my life 1,000,000%.
Awesome.
If only she could do my calls, we'd really be in business. But she pulls my emails for me, and now I'm email marketing, doing that. And all that I've been doing with that is taking my tasty posts and putting them in format, and sending those out to my new leads or emails. Also, what was I going to say? There was something else. Oh, my webinar. That's on my to-do list. I actually have assigned my boyfriend to help me with that. I'm like, look, please, I just can't do it all at this point, but he's going to help me put together my webinar. And my goal is to get this as automated as possible. I want, to be able to enroll people constantly. I don't know what other way I can scale other than I'm still running my Facebook ads, but I'm just trying to get there by any means, utilize the influencers. I've told the people in my course on graduation day, I got such high praises. I'm like, you guys, as an additional, now that you guys are entrepreneurs, open up your mind. There's a whole world of affiliate marketing. And if any of you enjoyed my course enough to spread the word, I want to extend to you this offer as well, just for sharing the word about your growth and your product in my course. You can make an additional $400, a pop, by just referring. And so that alone is like, you know what I mean? I'm just using every resource I possibly can have to scale and grow. And, also partnering with Laurel, my business partner now, who I met with your course.
Oh yeah, tell us about that. I forgot to ask you about that.
Again, I think it just boils down to being super resourceful and, using your network. I've always been big on networking. And I remember when I first started your course, I was utilizing your Facebook page and just scrolling and seeing what other types of people were in the group. And I stumbled across someone who does Facebook ads, and a huge part of my business as a dropshipper is Facebook ads. And so, Facebook is one of those things where it's like, it's ever changing. It's like, you got to really be a real Facebook person to know and understand and have great results with Facebook. And so when I saw that there was somebody who was confident enough to come out with a whole course based on Facebook ads only, I was like, hold on, I want to partner with her. And I'm just huge on collaborating. I'm huge on women and working together and partnering and leveraging our network, our knowledge, all that. So I contacted her on your Facebook page, and I was like, I think I sent her a private message, and I was just like, hey, would you be interested in collaborating with me on a project? Like, I would love to partner with you. And of course, you know, she was super excited too. And she's like, what do you teach? And I was like, e-commerce, drop shipping. She's like, what's that? And I'm like, what? What's that? You're doing Facebook for these big companies, making them millions of dollars. Like, hold on. So I taught her Instagram. I mean, I taught her drop shipping. She taught me, you know, Facebook, and now we have stores together. It's like we have different businesses together. It's just been, it's crazy. Like, it's just so crazy how much everything, it's like it's been meant to happen. But yeah, you know, just utilizing your resources, coming together, not being too, you know, one thing she says to me all the time, like, Chelsea, before I met you, like, I never slid in no DMs. I never like, and I'm like, what? What do you, girl, I'm the queen. If I have a question, I'm going straight to, if you have something I want down to your t-shirt, I'm going to ask you where you got that t-shirt at. Like, there's no shame in my game. So now she does that, and we, you know, we're both very just on it, and we partner up with people. We've exchanged courses with people in your course, who are selling courses on things that we want to learn, and we pick their brain, they pick our brain. They're like, hey, you want to trade? And we're like, yeah, sure. You know, like,
amazing.
It's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, you have so many amazing professionals in your course. Like, you really attracted a very strong, like, minded person, and a lot of successful people are in your course, even before your course. So the fact that they're all in one place, you know, because of your course, is just super awesome. Like, super awesome.
Cool. Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear all of this. So,
Yes.
I'm excited for you. So I hope that you're using, the webinar from scratch. So, you know, you have access to that inside course from scratch. So for your webinar,
Yep. That's the one my boyfriend's gonna be. He's gonna. I'm like, babe, just watch these few modules for me, okay? And let's just get it done. It's gonna bring in at least $10,000.
Nice. Perfect. Okay, good. I was like, let me make sure.
No, for sure.
Yeah, because one of the things we're working on is a more advanced, like basically the next step, right? For when you graduate from course from scratch, how do you then scale to multiple 6 figures and then 7 figures, you know, where I am now, we'll be on that, but yeah, to start 7 figures. So I'm excited that it sounds like you'll be, you're like, you were looking for that. So hopefully, we'll have that ready soon. So any final thoughts? Because you mentioned, I know that one area where a lot of people get discouraged would be with the phone calls, and the fact that you did. So do you remember how many calls you had to do to get your first yes?
Maybe 10.
Oh, wow.
Maybe,
okay, cool.
Maybe even 12. I'm not sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it was I felt like it was a good bit, you know, I mean, cause you think, my conversion rate was like 35%. So I don't know. What does that mean? 3 out of every 10? No, wait, you know me in math. Hold on.
You're right. You're right. However, usually when you're starting, I mean, it's your first time trying to do that, right? So usually,
so I think
you're not going to get 3, your first 3, you know what I mean? Out of the first.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely wasn't. No.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I talked to quite a few people before I closed one, and I know it did start off, it was a rocky start. You definitely have to find your mojo with it, your confidence. You don't want to sound too scripted. You want to, you know what I mean? Like, it definitely was stressful the first few. I was like, I toggle between you don't know what to blame it on. When you keep getting all these no's, you're like, am I too scripty? Am I going too fast? Do they just not like me? Is it the price point? So you start changing all these little things, and then you realize, like, no, like, stand firm, stick to the script, sound confident, you know, go slow, and just believe in yourself. And, one thing I do know that like when me and Laurel kind of gave each other feedback a lot, I noticed that I was spending a lot of time on the, like, one thing that she was doing that I wasn't necessarily doing in the beginning is she was asking a lot about her questionnaire on the phone.
Okay.
And I know that probably is a good thing. I don't know. But that I didn't do that. And I found that like when we were in together and she was doing it, it ended up turning into almost a mentorship call or, and I'm like, nah, like cut that out. That's not what this is. This is 15 minutes of you leveraging the answers that they give you to format your approach to them. But this is not I see you answered this, let's talk about that. No, because people will use and suck up your time. And after you give all these people your energy for the day, you're exhausted and you don't have it for yourself. So after talking to so many people, I had to really make sure that I wasn't doing that and make sure that, I respect their answers. And I always start off the call with thanking them, thank you so much for booking this call with me and for taking the time to answer the questionnaire as honestly as you did. I really appreciate that. Based on the things that you mentioned, I want to, talk to you a little bit about my course. I think you would be a great fit. And when I exchanged with her that feedback, I think it really helped her too, because she was getting very caught up in the personal stories and customizing it to every little thing that they were saying. And it's like, no, let's just tell them how we can help them based off of what they said. And I think that helped me a lot, because you can't give these people, everybody an hour of your day. You won't have anything left after that. So I try to keep it to 15 minutes, like you said, and, tell them exactly how you can help them in that 15 minutes, and they know if they want it or they don't. And then just keep it moving. You can't get hung up on the no's. You're going to get a million no's in life, period. So just as soon as you can, just hurry up and get to the other ones, you'll find your yeses,
Yes, I love it. Awesome. Cool. So gosh, this has been amazing. I've learned a lot, and I think whoever watches is going to find this really useful, because everything you shared is useful, whether, regardless of your network. Like, we're all working with some kind of advantage, access to something, knowledge, whatever, whether we have a small following, big following, doesn't matter. But especially for other people who have an existing following on Instagram, you're like a great example. Like, you have made more from your followers of about 30,000 you're at now, 30,000 Instagram followers, than people who have way more than that in that short period of time. So you're like doing amazing. So thank you so much. Yeah. Any final thoughts that you want to share with folks?
One last little thing that we did recently, I know that you talk about your levels of influencer, brand, and all that, and for me, I need Laurel sometimes to be like, hold on, we're not the brand yet. And I'm like, no, I am a brand. Don't you see my list? Like, hold on. And she's like, no, Chelsea, we have to, do it correctly, whatever. And so one thing I can say is that, when you start really respecting yourself as the authority that you are, when you have a course, it's like it's so amazing. Like, you have something that is like real that you can offer people. And so people really, that's when you tell somebody like, yeah, I have a course, it's like immediately they're like, whoa, like you have something that people want to learn, And so I got t-shirts made, not a lot. I just got two. I got two t-shirts made from, Vista Print, super cheap. And I just think that, when I do wear them, it's like, it's so cool, people, I don't have my whole course on there or anything, but I have my logo that is branded for my course. I make sure I send out everything that I send out course related has my logo on it. And so it has my logo, it has Honey Gold, which is my Instagram, and it just creates that curiosity of like, oh, and then you go to my page and you see nothing but pasty posts. It's like, boom. And then I have business cards, I got pens made, and I even got a journal, with my logo on it. And so I put all my course notes in there. I put my manifestations in there. And so it just, even though, whether you're a brand or not, whether you have 30,000 or 100, whatever, it's like you constantly just telling yourself that you are this authority and that you are a public figure, you are a brand, you are an influencer, it just makes you feel so much more proud and like walk with dignity, and people gravitate towards that, you know? And so, yeah, that's my last takeaway really, is just, you know, sometimes you got to walk it, you got to feel it, you got to really want this, and it will come. Like, it's going to resonate with people, your energy alone, and you'll get the sales easily. You'll get the acknowledgement, the respect, everything. It's just, it all comes together, you know? So
Thank
you. I'm so
you.
grateful for your course. I really am. Like, it's been amazing. And it's just crazy because when you're done, you're like, wow, it was all based on such simple principles and like just putting simple things together. But the fact that you did it and you made it so easy, you know, I have anxiety. I suffer from like every type of overthinking disorder you can imagine, you know? And so the fact that you just made it so simple, I just appreciate that so much. It helps me, like, I got it done so fast, you know, to take a course and then launch and bring in these sales. You know, I was so nervous. I think I hadn't even gotten to your CAB. You have a lesson for CAB, right? Or CAB? Is that what it is?
For the car method. Yeah.
Car. Mm-hmm. I wasn't even at the car lesson, and I had like 30 people enrolled. I was like, wow. I was like, girl, you better finish the lesson. What are you gonna do? You have, and I'm like, I was going crazy. Wow. She's like, I was asking her questions, and she's like, you must have not read that part about the outline yet. And I'm like, no. She's like, hurry up and watch it. It'll answer those questions. I'm like, okay. I'm like, how am I enrolling and I'm not even done with the course? Like, this is nuts. So all you have to do is literally, like you said, step by step, and just take action. That's it. Like, that's it. Yes. It'll happen. Thank you. It's been awesome.
I love it. Thank you. And I just want to thank you, because I think what's really inspiring about you is you take, like you just said, action, but you take imperfect action. You're like, I am seeing myself in as an authority. I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to get on live. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, whatever we need to do, like, I know that I have something of value to teach people. So let me just get on camera, get in the DMs, do the stories, whatever, reach out to this influencer, whatever it is. And you're making it happen. If I need to do, get 10, 11 no's before I get the first yes, I'm going to keep going. Yeah. I know that the yes is coming. So so thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Ooh, I'm excited to see where it goes next. So I'm going to be watching, and watching your journey, watching you continue to climb. So I'm so happy for you and for your family.
Thank you so much. Oh, and you know what? You got me sales. Thank you. I just realized that when you shouted me out, so many people like really obviously trust you already. And when they, several people from your course, were like, you know, I'm already in a course, or I'm working on my launch, but I love what you're teaching and it's so interesting. Like, I want to sign up. And so, yes, thank you for any attention that you brought to my page. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Good. Well, that's good. That's definitely a sign that you have the right content, right? You've got your tasty content down to actually like convert those people and connect with them on a real level. Okay. No worries. Well, thank you so much. She's like, my phone just died. Okay. Oh, you can hear me. Okay, cool. Well, we'll wrap up the interview at least, and then I'll stay on a little bit longer afterwards. Well, I won't be able to, but anyway. But yeah, thank you so much, Chelsea. Thank you. All right. Bye.